time of day. 'Cause I ain't been doing nothing but drinking and thinking, yeah. Oh, since you've been away. Oh, come on.
I don't think that I'm coming back. Boy, I told you I'm done with that. You think you can do me so wrong? I'm not the one, no, I'm not the one.
Back at high school, under the trees, we used to mess around. I'd fill you down right there in the streets. Damn, those were the days, baby. Now you barely look at me like you was never my lady. What has this come to be? Shit, I guess we grown apart when it's separated, but you still up in my heart. And that will always be the case. You are my first one. No matter how the fuck we split, I wish you nothing but love. But now I'm doing these shows and I'm making this money. I'm never stopping for these hoes. Oh, I'm me for my money and shit. Got these new friends on deck when I cashing my checks. Laid up on the rim, feeling my heart popping out of my chest. Ain't no slipping in this game, no. They take advantage just to use you for the clout too. That's why I keep my circle small and I keep my friends close. Remembering to watch our enemies when they come through. Shit.
I don't think that I'm coming back. Boy, I told you I'm done with that. You think you can do me so wrong? I'm not the one, no, I'm not the one.
Yo, welcome to the RAWDOG Show. I'm your host, Mr. Armando Cervantes. Girl, you know that you want this, and I can tell by the way you flaunt it. And today, we talking about love. Each episode, we feature an up-and-coming song on love, and an always special guest host sharing their unique perspective on love, sex, and relationships. This episode's jam is The One, featuring Tina G off the EP I'm Not a Rapper by my man, representing Ottawa, Ontario, Canada, Tom Orlando. And today's guest hosts, we have Maniac1.
Maniac, 27 years old, married.
You're supposed to say hi.
Whatever you want to say.
Can you sound like Maniac?
Just leave it. That's beautiful. That's great. That's great.
Yeah.
Just leave it like that. That's great.
I didn't know that.
That's good.
Want to restart?
No, just. And we have Sam.
Hi, I'm Sam. I'm 31 years old and I've been married for 6 years.
Okay. And anything else you want to add to your relationship status? You guys are clearly married together.
Yes.
Yeah, 6 years.
Almost 6 years.
6 years next month.
That's 6 years. Cool. Well, glad to have you two here. I'm excited to learn from both your experiences and pass down wisdom. I will ask you 3 questions today. One on love, one on relationships, and one on sex. So without further ado, let's go in raw. How do you define love?
Ladies first.
Okay, I guess for me...
You can laugh. Hey, you can laugh. You can laugh, cause like you can let it out, just whatever it is, you know. All right, start again.
Love, I think for me, it's more, there's different types of love. There's love for your kids, since we do have 2 kids. My love is different for them than towards my husband.
Okay.
For him, it's more unconditional. I would say, kind of like in our marriage, you have to work on loving the person every day. It's something that can't easily be defined. You have to work on it. And as much as I love him, there's moments, I know he would testify at this, that you kind of have to remind yourself why you love them.
When you're making this decision to love Maniac, what are you pulling for? Are you pulling from old good memories with each other, or things you're hoping for in the future? Like what are you feeling that helps you keep loving him?
I remind myself like why I fell in love with him. He was my first love. So I go back thinking, he's my first love. I love him for the man that he is and the man that he is trying to be for the future. I love how he's always thinking, okay, right now we're in this home, but we're going to get something bigger. He's always picturing our family and the best outcome. And I think that's why I have to think and be like, you know what? Even though it's a hard day, I love him for this. I love him for that. Even for like small things. I love him for his weird personality, for his crazy, unique things, like his tapping on his leg in the middle of the night. I just want to stop and just be like, okay, you love him.
Just a quick note. How long were you two dating before you got married?
6 months.
So you guys met 6 months before dating.
And then even
before getting married.
The first time that we said I love you was a month after we were going out.
Wow, so you guys felt it quick in that sense.
Those puppy loves, I feel like it was like those high school feelings that you have in high school where you're just like, oh, I love him so much. So how about you, babe? How would you define love?
Yo, what's going on, everyone? This is the Maniac1. Love is more of a connection. Whenever we got married, they always say like that's your second half. Not only am I gonna care about myself, but I'm gonna care about her because that's how much I love her. So you gotta always love yourself first, and you gotta do what you gotta love. But at the same time, you can't just do it all by yourself. You gotta kind of bring in your other half and help them be at your same level. And so I think that's what it is. Just like between us two, we always have to pick up each other up. I've done a lot of things to kind of get her where she wants to be, and vice versa too. She's, there's been some down times, and she's picked me up just as well, just to pick myself up, whether it's stress, whether like I'm frustrated or something. We just keep on going up, and I think that's just what love really is.
I found it really interesting because you're saying how she's your other half, so she's the other half of who you are. And then you also said it's important to love yourself. So part of loving yourself is taking care of your full self and looking at your wife as your other half. You're putting both equal energy in, loving your wife because she's the other half of who you are. Exactly. Like anything you decide to do, you need the cosign. It's not going to just happen with just your approval. Really powerful stuff because you two are you two are young. Like you guys are a young couple and you guys have been married for 6 years. Most marriages, doesn't matter the age, don't even make it that far. In our generation, it's more thinking individualistic, thinking about how is this person going to help push me. But you two went into a marriage really early, but you guys both had, in a sense, grounded morals to make sure that, the idea of marriage was still held to a traditional standard where this person is your other half. It's not just, this person's just, adding to my life. It's like this person is a part of my life.
And kind of like in Grey's Anatomy, he's my person. I can't go on without talking to him or telling him these exciting news or bad news. He's that person that I go to. It feels weird when he's not around me because he's my comfort. He's my everything.
Dang, that was hella deep, man. It's because both you two just have that same base of the way you guys see marriage that it's like, this is my other person now. So why am I not going to share everything? Because I'm sharing it basically with myself. Like, once you guys married, you guys became one person. All right, next question. What's the biggest lesson you've learned from your past relationships? So basically, the way you define love right now, what past experiences have given you this definition?
Ladies first.
Again, you never want to
Damn,
answer. I'm curious to know how you would answer it first.
What a gentleman.
All right then, since you're being a baby. That one's a little bit difficult to answer because you don't want to mention your previous relationships with your spouse, but you get...
Quick question, why?
I think you're afraid of what they're gonna... Like, you don't want your dirty laundry outside, but as the years go by, it doesn't become less, like, awkward or embarrassing.
It matters less because, you're owning each other's minds, like, you worry less and less about what each other's doing because Maniac knows that he's taking care of you and doing his role as a man, so why would he have to worry about other men looking at you? And then same with you, like, you're a good woman to him, so you worry less as like the relationship grows.
For the previous relationships, it was more still trying to figure out like what a boyfriend was, what a love is, and because I've never had that serious like relationship, it was more when I met him, it was like, wow, like this is what it's all about. Like I had my crazy college years to try to see all these different types of boys, and they were never they were nothing compared to him.
What got you about Maniac?
The way he was so forward, like even the way we met, like I was just like, whoa, like slow down.
Straight to the point.
Yeah,
He wants.
he was just more like, I want to be with you. I'm like, really? Yeah, I want to be with you. And I'm like, oh, okay. And it's just weird that never came. I've never had that before. And so he was just very straightforward. And even throughout our times, like he was always straight to the point.
Evolutionary speaking, like he's being a man, a man's greatest strength, his physical strength, but also his logic and just being factual, like just being straight up. This is what I think. This is what it is.
Yeah, he was straight to the point, like bam. And I was like, oh, okay.
Okay, I'll marry you.
Yeah, like I guess. Yeah. And I think that's
right.
He doesn't hold his feelings back. He'll let me know straight to the point, like where I'm fucking up or where something's wrong. He'll tell me. Versus other guys, they wouldn't. They don't want to hurt your feelings. They don't want to get in a fight. He doesn't hesitate to tell me the truth. And
just give
it's
Manny
hard,
a little fist
but
bump.
I give him props for that. Like, no guy is gonna tell a girl like, no, like you kind of look fat. It's okay. You're working on it, but yeah, you still have that there.
Damn, that's real, dude.
Yeah, and it hurts, but then I think about, I'm like, okay, yeah, you're right. It's a little chunky there, but I could fix it.
He's being real. He's just being real 100% of the time.
Why is he gonna tiptoe around my feelings? He tells me straight to the point.
But it goes back to like the definition of love that both you two have. Like he's trying to improve himself. Like he's trying to make sure all parts of him are good. So you're my other half. We're taking care of both sides.
All right. So now your turn. How would your previous relationship? I'm curious to know.
Maniac1.
First of all, you never been fat, so I don't know where you're getting that from. You've always been slim and just not like my ladies.
Sam is very slim.
Yeah.
For those that are wondering.
Well, first of all, I think there's just a bad stigma that whenever it comes to like men should date like all these women, and then for the women they should only stick to like one guy, which I think is total BS because it's very like it's unfair,
It is, dude, because we're creatures. Like we like having sex. Is that our fault? Like I mean, we're gonna have shitty sex, good sex. You have your best sex with who you're intimate with, and is it Sam's fault or is it Maniac's fault that you guys just hadn't met at that point and you guys were just exploring? You guys were just trying to find out what worked for you, It's not what's wrong with that.
One should experiment and just date or do whatever, and I think that's when they're going to figure out what they like, what they don't like about the guy, what they do like or do not like about the girl. And I think just with that experience, it makes you realize, okay, what kind of girl do I want? What kind of guy do I want? Through my past relationships, I remember like talking to younger women, even dating younger women, and they weren't that serious. And I felt like me, myself, I had to grow up at such a young, I had to grow up faster at such a young age. I think it had to do a lot with my stepdad leaving. My stepdad, he's, I consider him my real dad, been there since I was 5 years old. And I remember in high school, he had to leave because that's when he got the truck driving company. He pretty much told me like, okay, like I'm leaving you here with your mom, with your sisters. You're the man of the house now. So you gotta, grow up, step up, and do whatever you gotta do. That was my sophomore year of high school. So I felt that really matured me a lot. I felt because of that moment, I've always been a very serious person of what like I want or what I need in my future. I've always been more focused.
Wow.
And so I think that's when I started like talking to older women and begin figuring out like, okay, like this is more of my type because they're more serious, just where I am as well. They know what they want. They know what they want to do. That's when I met Sam. I met Sam like at a club, and that's when we just started chopping it up and just talking about where we're from, what we want to do, and I mean I just felt a connection right there. She was very talkative. I'm not really talkative, so I felt that really helped out.
Through your chatterbox. What are you talking about?
Heck no. So, I mean, we just hit it off really good. We talked about a lot of stuff. I felt comfortable opening up with her. I felt like she felt comfortable just as well. And I felt like, you know what? I'm going to give it a shot because I like this.
Damn, so you just straight up, you knew what you wanted right there. Like,
yeah. She made me feel comfortable. And I think that comfortability, it made me to continue trying. 6 months later, I asked her to marry me, and here we are right now.
Damn, do you? I feel like I'm learning a lot, dude. You're just really straight up, like, you just know what you want, man. I respect that a lot. Even for you to think that from a younger age that at what, 22?
Yeah.
Like you just knew what you wanted right there, and you've kept consistent with it. It's not like you've trailed off from what you were originally thinking at that time. Next question: describe the feeling of an orgasm.
Now this one I want him to answer first. I answered 2 of them first. Now this time.
You gotta be a gentleman.
Yep.
You gotta be chivalrous, Mr. Maniac.
I think that's a tough question, and I think it just makes it tougher for me. So I'm gonna get a little deeper before answering this question, but I think I just grew up more in a conservative home, so it's really difficult for me to talk about sex and talk about questions like these about my sex life. I really don't talk about it, and I mean, Sam could say it all. Like I get all shy. I mean, I think that's just how I was raised, so that's why it makes me feel uncomfortable. Kind of like I feel uncomfortable right now. Trying to answer this question. I think, I mean, it's just a great feeling that I think every person would want to feel. It just makes you feel like, I mean, just all your worries and whatever anger, whatever, you just release it all. And because, hey, who doesn't like things that feel good, right? So I think an orgasm, it makes you have that pleasure that you want. It makes you feel good. Like just like any other thing, like we like to drink because it makes us feel good. It makes us relax and makes us that feeling of like feeling buzzed and makes us feel comfortable. Kind of like with drugs too. I mean, there's some drugs out there that make you feel like you have orgasms too, and I think that's where that addiction comes from. So I think that it's just that feeling that every person wants to feel because it makes you feel so good. And if you haven't had an orgasm, hopefully one day you do, because it is a really great feeling. It just happens when you have an addiction, because anything that makes you feel good, it makes you want more on it.
Dang, dude, you are just killing it, dude. I'm just, holy shit. Whew. Alright. So basically...
Thank you, Maniac1.
Dude, that what was I gonna say? Just to add to that is, I mean, that's just as humans, at the end of the day, we're creatures, like we're animals, we're part of this world, like we seek pleasure, like just like any animal would seek pleasure, just like dogs want to be pet, like we just want to feel good beyond all the rational things we think. We just like to feel good.
Exactly.
Damn. All right, Sam.
For me, he's right. I'm not shy when it comes to that. Like when someone asks me a question, I'm not gonna hesitate and.
Interesting.
I'm more open to it. Like I don't mind talking about our sex life, but I know he doesn't like talking about it towards people. Even with our closest friends, he gets like, "Oh, why did you have to say that? Like you don't need to bring our business out there."
Okay. But
girls, we'd like to talk about that stuff. It's something that comes like when we sit down at summer parties, we do end up talking about that.
Mm-hmm. But so it's just part of the gossip. Just talking about sex.
It's a norm for us as girls. We like to talk about it and we compare it. Honestly, we will sit, like if I'm with my best friend, we'll compare our sex life.
Comparing like who's better, or just comparing like...
No, like different things, like our sex positions, the type of orgasm. Was it longer? How many times did you finish? Kind of thing.
Oh, so just sharing. But
we share everything. So
dude, that's crazy. It's because for guys, like, when we talk about stuff, we're just competing. Like, who did it better? Like, oh, I did this. Dude, I did this. Like, we're more like trying to beat each other. But women are more just... sharing with each other.
Because I feel like we women talk about more the physical aspect of it, and you guys more of like sharing number-wise kind of thing. Yeah,
like just who's the better man.
Yeah.
Okay, keep going.
But I guess for me, an orgasm is more like you start like a tingling feeling, and it kind of like you either feel it in your hands or in your toes, and then it kind of like escalates. It's really hard to define. I think it just starts coming slowly and slowly and slowly, and either if you're a screamer or not, you scream at it. Mm-hmm. Like in our case, I have to like cover a pillow and just scream it there, or like he'll cover my mouth, like don't scream, So that's the best orgasm.
Fucking beast.
For me, is like when he has to cover my mouth. Like he even knows when I'm gonna get to that tip, and he'll like cover my mouth, or he'll put a pillow nearby so I could kind of like contain myself. But it's a feeling that you get, like it's a really like tingly, numb feeling, and it's the best feeling ever. Like you could have sex with so many guys, but if you never had the orgasm, you're just having sex. You're not getting to that point.
It's just like one orgasm just wipes away all the guys that have never given an orgasm. Does it mean more to you because of the love, or does the love make it that much better?
I wouldn't be able to reach that high peak that I get if I didn't love him, if I didn't make love to him.
The intimacy is what makes good sex.
yes, I can't, even like after an argument, you know, like the hate sex, like that also kind of could mix into it because that makes it even more higher orgasm.
Like love and hate are just very strong emotions, and strong emotions lead to good sex because you are feeling a lot of energy towards that person, whether it's love or hate. So that's why I think makeup sex is just as good as like those like really deep intimate sexes.
Yeah, and it's because you're already like a second ago you were angry, and then now you're just like you're happy, but you still have that little like hate or anger. It makes that escalate more higher, which why girls, or at least for me, I finished a couple of times because I was so mad at him, and then like now I love him, but then I still have that anger, so it escalates higher and higher.
Cool. Then anything else to add, Maniac?
No, I don't. Like I said, I'm pretty quiet when it comes around this conversation, and y'all know why. But I mean,
you lay it down, dude. You lay it down. Just
no, I'm not gonna brag. Like they say, the quietest person in the room is the most dangerous person. So,
dude, Maniac is a straight killer, dude.
So I'm gonna stick with that right there. I think it all depends with everyone's relationship, but I think a lot what has to do with is, again, with your question with love and being, you know, having that love for that one person is not the same as like, you know, having a one night stand and not having feelings for that person. So it's different for every relationship. Beautiful.
All right, well, let's cut to a quick break. And when we get back, Maniac1 and Sam and I will answer one question off of RAWDOGFREESTYLE.com. RAWDOGFREESTYLE.com.
I'm feeling blessed now. I'm finally able to support my mama too. No more double shifts, no more stressing about the rent shit, complaining about the hunger and going to bed starving, and it's all thanks to you, mama. If it wasn't enough for you believing in me, I'd probably be in jail doing 2 to 3. You raised me up all on your own, grew up without my papa. Hey, you put up with my shit, but that you know I'm grateful.
Take one more sip.
No.
And now time for a Raw Dog Freestyle.
This is Maniac1 up in this beat. Now listen to my flow right now. 5, 4, 3, 2 to the 1. This is Maniac1 and the Raw Dog Show has begun. I'm getting tipsy and I'm feeling cool. My boys are blazing, but that's not what I do. I'm feeling it so hard, I think it's hitting my appendix. Now don't even trip because this is a rap mix. Someone bring me a chair, I'm about to hit the flow.
Yo.
And this is the reverse countdown. 1, 2, 3, 4. Things ain't looking blurry, so things must be okay. Now where the party's at? I'm looking to party. Raw Dog Show with Joe. Now bring beer, babe, because I'm about to let you know. City of Tula, I love to represent. Now let me pass it to Mondo so you can make a dent.
Shit. Yo, what's up? It's Mr. Armando Cervantes. Girl, you know that you want this. I can tell by the way you flaunt it when you riding. Don't even know what the font is. Miss Gabriela Montes, high school musical, 14 years out. Those leaks left me in. I couldn't understand. Now I'm dating bitches. Couple months in, I can't even stand it. Yo, wish I had an answer to all my little prayers, but every single day shit's getting rayer. Shine that ray of light on me. Tell me what's coming up next. Ride dog.
Blessed with the family and friends that I have. Got a loving cousin, know I got you till the end. Shout out to my crew, Adam and Dan, Angelo, Amin, and Mac. You know I got your backs. Shit, we reppin' Ottawa, Ontario. We up at the Parliament, jamming out on the radio. I keep my circle small and I rep my fam too. Remembering I watch our enemies when they come through.
And now we're back. This question comes off of our website, rawdogshow.com. And this question is from Anonymous, Mr. or Mrs., who knows? What do you think is more important in a relationship? Personality compatibility or sexual compatibility?
I'll go ahead and answer it since my wife has answered the first two. So I'll be that gentleman and take that second question.
Damn, what a stud. What a stud.
So can you repeat that question?
Holy God, dude. What is more important? What is more important? Personality compatibility or sexual compatibility?
I think that has to do a lot with personality. Yes, like a woman or a man, they could look as attractive as they look. You know, they might look pretty, whatever the occasion is. But then again, like, you got to pay attention, first of all, how that personality is, because a lot of times just what's on the outside, it really is not going to determine of what's in the inside. And I think just that the personality, it gives you more of a perspective of like how they really are, how they treat you, how they treat others, whether it's respect that you like about them or whatever thoughts. I think just like from my personal experience, just like what I was talking about when I met Sam, I really liked her personality. I think she was beautiful from the outside as well. And it's just from the inside, just how she was very respectful to me. She was very open to me. She made me feel comfortable. So I think that for me, personality it's all the way.
But think about there has to be some initial sexual compatibility for you to even want to get to know the personality.
Yeah, I think I would say a little bit of both. Of course, you want someone that's beautiful on the outside and the inside. You want someone that you could be old with. You could grow, see yourself, develop a future. You know, you want to wake up every morning to that person. But at the same time, it's a topping knowing that in bed, when you're making love, it's the best sex you've ever had. Because you're going to have, in our case, we're married. So that's the last person I'm going to have sex with. So I want to make sure our sex life is going to last a lifetime. That, like I said, that's just a topping in our relationship. He's funny. As much as he says he's quiet, he's not quiet. Not to me. He's really talkative, kind of like you said before. He really has a way of making you think. I love that his personality, he's so educated. He makes you think. He gives you different perspective. And that's a lot to do with his personality. At least I know he's shy about that, but I'm glad that our sex or making love is up there in the top. He has a way of making me not regret that he's the last person I'm going to sleep with.
Damn, hey, Maniac1, I'm going to give you another fist bump because you've been killing it, man.
Hold on really quick, though. I just want to kind of compare because that's when the man has to pretty much show off like pretty much their sex skills, because it's the man that, at least in my perspective, that they initiate the sex. They're the ones that do it. And so I think that's why, since it's up to like I don't know, like
making it a move?
I guess so. Like, I guess that's our job to pretty much like initiate the sex and pretty much like, you know, make things happen.
I was going to say, how do you two keep it interesting? Is it just trying new things all the time? Like, I mean, what keeps a relationship going this long? Because most relationships don't last past 2 years.
I think like in the beginning, it's really like the honeymoon stage. We're open to a lot of things,
How long would you say it lasts, the honeymoon stage?
Oh man, it lasted a pretty while for us. I want to say almost a year or so that we were in that honeymoon phase where it was just like our hands were always like, we were always on top of each other. Like, but I think as now looking back, there's moments where like I'll bring something or like add like a spin to something. I know like there's things that we haven't tried yet that we're kind of open to it, but I don't know. It's just a way of communicating that, like, hey, do you want to try this? Or, you know, I watched 50 Shades and I told him like, watch it with me. Maybe we could get some ideas. And I think he was like kind of open to it. Like at first he was like, is this like a chick flick or is this like something? I'm like, no, it's something. Let's watch it and see what happens.
Hey, yo, I want to say something really quick. So I think in order to know what pleasures you have to pleasure yourself too, which I'm referring to masturbation. So again, I feel one needs to explore their own body in order to know what feels good, and that way you could like let the other person know what you want, what makes you feel satisfied.
Dude, that was...
Dude, you said that.
You are killing it, dude. You are killing it. All right.
I'm surprised you haven't said the porn thing.
All right, what's the porn thing?
Yeah, what is the porn thing?
That you want us to do that while watching, or you want us to watch porn while having sex?
That's also another question. Someone asked, like, is it okay to watch midget porn before sex?
I I'm conservative. Like I
I'm
wouldn't.
sorry, midgets. Sorry, all you midgets out there. You guys are people. I know.
He's more about like he'll be shy about talking about sex, and I get shy more about masturbation and porn because that's something that I don't do. I don't. That's what I have a husband for. I don't need to pleasure myself because that's why I have him. If I need to pleasure myself, I just tell him like, hey, you make love to me? And same with the porn. Why am I gonna watch someone else have sex while I'm having sex
Like
with my
you've
husband?
programmed yourself. Like you make him your source of pleasure.
Yeah, and I don't need toys to
Yeah.
do that. Because again, like he already pleasures me as it is. Why am I gonna get other stuff? He's
So-
already doing his job.
So are you saying masturbation is bad for women to do?
No, they're women can do that. Like that's their own prerogative. Like if they want to use toys or dildos, go for it. It's just for me, I don't need that. I have you. That's why
Like,
again we're
already,
married.
You're already 100% satisfied.
Yeah, I don't need other things to make me 120%. You're already making me 100%.
And I don't think it's just you, but I think it's other women, like they feel bad or they would feel like ashamed of doing something like that. To be honest, like I'm Christian, and within my religion base, it's kind of frowned upon to masturbate. But I mean,
It is very shunned. Like sex is very not talked about and shunned in that sense.
exactly. And I think just, I mean, it's our own body and we're all humans. We all have needs and it's all part of life. And I think it just helps us explore our own body to know what makes us feel good.
That's where the moral standards come from.
Yeah,
It's-
the three
it's a
things:
base.
the religion, finance, and politics. And for our religions, we're open to. Like, I understand he's Christian, he understands I'm Catholic, but that's the thing that I can't. Girls could go ahead and do it if you want to do it, go for it. But my man's already doing what he needs. I don't need to do that. And
Damn.
with the porn thing, that's weird. That's like if someone's watching us have sex.
You just understand it as like an intimate, private thing.
Yeah, be in the moment with him, getting myself pleasured by him.
Gotcha. Oh, wow. Okay. Just going back to the question, I feel personality is more long term, but sexual compatibility, that's what you initially see in someone. I feel like what's it's like the sexual compatibility, it's what gets you first. It's like the initial chemistry. With time, the personality is what kicks in, and that's what is the foundation. That's what holds the base. Sex is more of like the decoration, what makes the house good, but the base is the personality.
Yeah, it's the cherry on the top.
I think it's more than icing on the cake, because I mean, I think like if the sex isn't good in the marriage or in the relationship, then eventually it's just gonna fade. Like it's kind of like 50-50 because
It's in a sense what makes us human. Like we're like animals that like we need the pleasure of sex because that's just what we do to reproduce. That's just the base of if we're just not thinking. But socially, as a higher level creature, like we have thoughts, we have unique psychology. So the personality is what also grounds us. So it's basically what makes it's like what makes us human is having the personality compatibility.
exactly, yeah.
Okay. All right. Anything else to add?
Ladies first.
Why you always put me on the spot?
So I mean, what's more important, personality or sexual compatibility?
I think it's a little bit of both.
Okay,
You need
so-
both. Because I'm going to sleep with him my whole life, I'm glad that it's good there. But then the fact that he's funny, it makes it last longer. The fact that he's so educated and gives you a different perspective, again, is what makes it. I see myself married to him 50, 60 years from now.
Beautiful. Well, that is our show for today. Maniac1 Sam, thanks again for coming.
Thanks, guys.
Yeah, no problem. Anytime. You know who this is, Maniac1, all the way from Tula.
Oh my gosh. That's not his real name.
All right, well, great to have you in today. To the people listening, keep submitting your questions on RAWDOGShow.com. We will answer these questions to the best of our ability. Ride, dog.
I don't